y'all know what the word situationship means? Just the annoying woman from before. So the rest of y'all are happy? You know peace in your heart. That's good. I can tell by your ginormous cross that you know peace in your heart. I'm very happy for you too. I assume this is not a situationship. Oh, I'm glad. No, cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to see who's hot here. Just in case. All right, cool. Just take an account. Just doing my little accounting. When I was in college, I was in a situationship for 5 years. I was in college for 4 years. And before you judge me, I just want you to know that, like, I did a lot of mental gymnastics to justify that to myself. Like, I thought that the reason why we never went on dates outside of the dorm room or interacted at parties that we were both at or referred to each other by our first names, I thought that was because he was kind of shy. I thought that was because he was an introvert, because he wore glasses and sweaters with elbow patches, and he read a lot of Tolkien, and so I read a lot of Tolkien. But no, we dated is not the right word. We texted each other and then one time had sex for 4 years when I was in college, which means that I, for 4 years, learned everything I needed to know for an undergraduate degree in English and theater, and I did not learn my lesson. I left our college town. I went to school in Washington, D.C. I left our college town after I graduated, but my best friend from college, she was getting married that next summer, and I was going to be a bridesmaid in her wedding. And so I flew back to D.C., and I texted that guy, and I said, hey, how would you like to have sex in a bed that's not a twin size? And he said yes. And so I texted him the address to the hotel room that my mother paid for. And I go to the rehearsal dinner, and I get drunk on free alcohol because I'm 22 at the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming back from the rehearsal dinner. Meet me there. And I see him, and he's sitting in the hotel lobby, and he's reading a book. Sexy, right? When I told you he was a nerd, like, that's the kind of thing a nerd would do. And so I thought that was cute and adorable and sexy and attractive. And so I walk up to him, and I'm like, let's go upstairs. And so then we go upstairs to my hotel room, and he takes one look at me right in the eye, and he goes, do you mind if I finish this chapter? And that kind of hurt my feelings, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm clearly over it. I mean, it's been 5 years, and I don't know if this is a demographic for this, but are any of y'all on TikTok? Yeah. Okay, a couple of you, cool. For the 4 of you who are on TikTok in this audience, are any of y'all on that side of TikTok where your For You page is all videos of signs and symptoms of undiagnosed adult autism? No? Just me? Because I've been getting that a lot recently. And so I texted my friend whose wedding it was, and I said, hey, based on this video and what you know about this situation, do you think that he has undiagnosed adult autism? And she said, no, Courtney, I don't think he has undiagnosed adult autism. And some of you are sitting there thinking, oh no, sweetheart, my precious girl, she's gonna say, you have undiagnosed adult autism. That's not what she said. She said, he does not like you. And that was very difficult for me to swallow. We talked a lot about race tonight for some reason. I don't know why. My last name is Polish. It's Polish for difficult to pronounce last name. But I'm actually Polish, Irish, Italian, and Mexican. Ooh, spicy, interesting. I have culture. That means I'm basically all of Chicago. Yeah, I'm diverse. No, but I only ever tell people that I'm Mexican because I do think that it makes me more interesting. I love being Mexican. I obviously don't look all that Mexican though. Like I have 2 younger siblings, a younger brother and a younger sister. My younger brother, whether or not he gets arrested for possession of marijuana is like entirely dependent on if he's shaved his mustache that day. Me too, a little bit. But no, I look like this because my mother is so white. Oh, great, you can listen. My mother is so white that when she had my two siblings, her 3 children, she gave us all the same initials so she could, quote, get a good deal on monogramming. Of course, no one thought to tell her that you can save the most money on monogramming by not monogramming at all. But I grew up in Connecticut, where there are far, far more monograms than there are Mexican people. And so when I was growing up, I only ever heard about Mexico in the context of girls I went to high school with going there for spring break. And they would always say, Courtney, if you ever go to Mexico for spring break, because why else would you go, be careful about Montezuma's Revenge. Y'all know about Montezuma's Revenge? Yeah, a couple of you. For those of you who are uninitiated, Montezuma's Revenge is when they tell you to not drink the water because the bacteria could give you some potential digestive issues, let's say. But it would always come from these girls who would then proceed to post pictures of themselves on Instagram double fisting frozen margaritas. As if that ice is not also made of water. Which of course begs the question, is it the water that's the problem, or is it the fact that this is the first time you're eating seasoned food in your life, Karen? Because if we're being honest, there's really only one ice us Mexicans need to be concerned about. Okay, so are you guys Republicans? I'm sorry, I can't tell. Was that like a yay, ice, or like a ooh? It's okay, I'll take the laugh. No, but now I live in downtown Chicago. I know we're in Rosemont. Any of y'all, are y'all familiar with downtown Chicago during Hispanic Heritage Month? Yeah, that's what Fox News tries to make you think that downtown Chicago's like all the time. I love being Mexican up until the eve of September 15th every year. One time I was in an Uber for 2.5 hours trying to get to my apartment in downtown Chicago because they just shut down all of the inroads into the Loop, which is where I live, which is my fault. Okay, I'll take that. But it got to the point where I got out of my Uber and I walked up to a cop because I'm a white lady. And I said, look, that is my apartment building. I'm gonna walk down Ida B. Wells. Do not let anyone hit me. And he said, well, I'm gonna be the first car coming down this ramp when we lift the blockades. And I said, cool, so don't hit me. Because, sir, I just wanna go back to where I came from. Okay, maybe Republican. No, I love Heritage Months and things like that, except for the Mexican one, but I feel like I can do that. But I was at the first basketball game, the first Chicago Bulls basketball game for Black History Month this year. And in order to celebrate Black History Month, they said, okay, everyone, we're gonna stand for the Black National Anthem. Y'all know what the Black National Anthem is? No, it's Rosemont, okay, that's fine. It's this beautiful song, it's called Lift Every Voice and Sing. So they put the words up on the Jumbotron and everyone stared while someone sang Lift Every Voice and Sing. And then they said, now please remain standing for the regular national anthem. And I thought that was just a skosh racist. But it did get me thinking, do they do that for every Heritage Month, right? Like the month after Black History Month is Women's History Month. So they say, now please rise for the women's national anthem. All too well, the 10-minute Taylor's version. And now please remain standing for the men's national anthem. One full episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. I'll leave you with this. Anyone here have siblings? Yeah? Okay. Do you think you are your parents' favorite child? Sometimes. I thought for the longest time that I was my parents' favorite child. But like I said, I'm the oldest of 3. So if I was really my parents' favorite child, they would have stopped trying after me. But there are plenty of reasons on paper why I thought I should have been my parents' favorite child. I'll give you a couple. I have a 4-year undergraduate degree, like I mentioned, so now I have a job with a salary and a 401k. I live around the corner from my parents in downtown Chicago. My 2 siblings, they don't live in Chicago at all, so I get to see my parents all the time. That's a brown parent's dream. My little brother, he works in commercial real estate sales, and so if he doesn't sell an office park or something else nobody wants, then he doesn't make any money. And so he doesn't make any money. But my dad, y'all know what love languages are? My dad's love language is gift giving. And so every year for his birthday, he gives us gifts. So he doesn't have to return something that we get him that he doesn't want. And so for his birthday last year, my dad gave my brother a check for $1,000. That's really nice, right? He's like, use this money to pursue your dream of commercial real estate sales. But don't use it to pay your phone bill, because I already pay that. And I don't want to sound ungrateful. I do appreciate getting a gift for someone else's birthday. But my dad, for that same birthday, gave me a pen. A really nice pen, a Mont Blanc pen. That's a bougie pen. It's a $400 pen. So I'm under by $600. And some of you are probably thinking, Courtney, you were an English major. That pen is also a metaphor. Use that pen to write your jokes and tell your stories. And okay, sure, I hear you. But think about it this way. That pen means that my dad, God rest his soul when he's long gone and passed, means that he wants me to write $1,000 checks for my good-for-nothing brother. And I don't know what's worse, the fact that I am 26 years old, and so I don't know how to write a check. Or the fact that I have already lost that pen.